Hey everyone. Okay, so it has been it has been a wild end of the year. It's a really busy time for me because it's Christmas and it's my daughter's birthday. That all passed. But that being said, I have been working on such exciting things in my business for you guys. Like I have been in a mode of like, how can I help my people? Let me take all of the things that I am doing, shifting, learning, all the things that are working and teach them to you guys. And I'm going to share in this episode what I have already been doing in shifting my business in terms of how I am marketing differently on Instagram. And to be honest, what every creator who is growing, who is using their Instagram to drive sales, everybody has changed the way that they are using Instagram. Whether they started out as a creator or they started out as a business owner, we're all changing. We're all shifting. It is very exciting. It is not anything we need to be scared about. It's something that is going to happen all the time because social media platforms are always changing. But the exciting part about that is like, it's still a free platform that we use to be able to reach new people. And to be honest, the reason that I find it exciting, especially because I'm seeing the results already in my email list growing and my follower list and going viral and all the things, and in selling my intensives and like all the things that I'm seeing, it's making me realize like there has never been a more exciting time, to be honest, to be on Instagram because of the fact that its potential for us to reach new people has like never been better. And even if we grew up with, as I did, I'm an elder millennial in the time of like social media is for your followers and things like that. That's great, I think, for when you want to use it in a personal way and you only really want to see like your friends and family. But when you're a business owner, you actually want to reach new people. That's lead generation. And some people pay for that through ads. And you don't have to do that because good content and strategic content that has different jobs to do, some is for reach and growing your audience, some is for building trust, and some is for conversion. When you do that, you are basically getting free lead generation and you get to have more fun in your content. That is what I am the most excited about with Instagram changes is like, oh my gosh, it is actually strategic for me to be funny, relatable, share my life, like all these things. And so if you have been feeling like you just hate showing up to Instagram and it feels like you're just dreading it, and even if you're not on IG, what I'm going to share with you still with regards to storytelling and with regards to, posts having different jobs still applies. But you're going to see the relevancy more so with Instagram because I'm specifically reporting back what I've learned, what I've changed, why I've changed it, and how it reflects like how creators and business owners are shifting the way that they use the platform and why. And I'm so excited to dive into all of that today. Before I dive in, I wanted to let you know I have packaged a good deal of what I am teaching you here into a free resource called 6-Figure Story Selling. It is a guide that breaks down 5 different kinds of content that you should be posting in order for your Instagram to basically operate like a funnel, meaning some of the content, it grows your followers. Some of the content is to build trust and to build authority, and some is meant to drive sales. But every post is not supposed to do every job. Way more than you think is supposed to just grow your content and connect. And that's like what you would consider almost like fun content, like in not the things where you're hard selling in your posts. So like, I think all of this is going to be so refreshing for you. So in the show notes, you will find the link to grab 6-Figure Story Selling hooks. And so when you opt in, the first email, you're going to get 6-Figure Story Selling hooks. But I also included a custom GPT that I built and designed based on my sellable stories concept. And it's going to take you through like the beginning stages of my sellable stories intensive, where it's going to help you to position your offer through your story and extract 3 core stories and help you to use the 6-Figure story selling hooks even better. Like I've been pouring my little heart out into this thing and I'm so excited. And I have had people who have done this intensive with me, who've booked clients just from the intensive. So like, I'm literally taking all of this to be like, you could use all of this and grow your account and book clients and all of this. So I'm so pumped. So opt in the link in the show notes, and I'm so excited for you to dive in. So that being said, and and I'm sharing all of this because I want you to know what to change going into 2026 and what successful creators and business owners have already changed, and you've probably noticed it in your feed already. So first of all, this is my job to do this because I've been a marketer for 20 years. So literally this is not new to me to have to change things. Like I always tell people the story of like, I started marketing as my full-time post-college career before social media existed. There was no Facebook and people did not have smartphones. The first iPhone had not come out. So for me, it's like, I'm excited by changes. I'm just like, I started marketing and have changed so much. So it's like my job to not just know what's going on, but to try it on first. I have to be an early adopter of everything, test it out, refine it. I have been going ham on trial reels, looking at my metrics. I've put out freebies. Like I've done all this stuff. So if you look at my content, like you'll notice it's very different than it was a few months ago. And that's very much on purpose. And I have to tell you, like I've never had this much fun in my content. I'm so like pumped. And so I want this for you. And I'm going to tell you exactly what those changes should be in this episode and why. Okay. So we're going to go through what has changed and what are the changes that I am making and that I recommend you make going into the new year so that you can grow your account and also build connection and trust and sales through Instagram and also just make it more fun again. So what changed in IG in 2025 is that around like March of this year, they started to roll out an update that really significantly changed the algorithm to the extent that much more of your feed is suggested posts. And I'm sure you've noticed this where you go through and you're like, half your posts are suggested posts. And so that could be irritating. To some extent. I've definitely been teaching the algorithm of things that I don't like. So anytime I'm like, I don't want to see this, I just go and I'm like, I click the little dot and I go, I don't want to see this on my feed. It's irrelevant. I don't like it, whatever. So I've been training the algorithm. But the good part about this is because of those suggested posts, that also means your content has a bigger potential than ever to be suggested posts based on the things I'm going to talk to you about today. And so that was the change. It started rolling out around March. And so now because of that, we can no longer treat every post as if people know us because that is not the case, right? Some of your followers will see your posts, but the truth is that like not everybody will. And so every post has to have a different job. The jobs are growth, trust, and conversion, right? So we don't need to ask every post to do everything, but this also means we're not supposed to be hard selling in every post. And I'm going to tell you what to do instead, but every post has a different job to do. One rule that I have heard that it makes sense to me is the 50-30-20 rule, meaning 50% is for growth, 30% is for trust, 20% is for conversion, for sales, right? And I think that makes sense when you are selling an offer on Evergreen, meaning like if you sell one-on-one coaching or you sell an offer and it's always available. If you're launching, you would probably want to switch it to something like 20% growth content, like to grow your account, 50% trust, you really want to build trust, and maybe 30% conversion, right? It might be like a 20, 50, 30. And so you might be thinking like, but how is it that I'm not selling in every post? Like, but I need to make sales. I got you, because this is also why we need to be driving your audience on Instagram to your email list, but not just by saying, join my email list, because that doesn't work anymore. When people might see one post of yours and not be following you and may never see another post again. This is the reason why having strategic freebies backed by a brief but like effective funnel is so important, because it's onboarding people to your role. So we're going to get to that. So that is what changed in Instagram in 2025, and how every post now needs to do a different job. We kind of want to treat IG like it's a funnel. So it helps you find new people and have people find you. It helps you build a relationship with them. And then it invites them. It invites them to your email. It invites them to listen to your podcast. It invites them to go deeper with you, right? And while you are still going to have some selling posts like book a call, join my program, all of that, it's not going to be the majority of your content. You're going to shift some of that over to stories. You're going to shift it over to your email, which means that the general landscape of your IG gets to be a place that people find you and get to know you, versus where you're hard selling to every person. And actually, I'd be hard pressed to find someone who isn't relieved by that. It's just that we need to build a bridge now so that we are getting people off of the platform in order to get closer to us in our email list. And like I said, using podcasts and all of that in a strategic way. Here is here are the main things that I am shifting, that I've already started to shift, that I'm recommending that you start to shift little by little. Okay. But this is what I've done. And again, like I've covered some of this in 6-figure story selling. So opt in, because I'm going to cover kind of like the differences and content that's going to help you. So you literally can go through the prompts and just go through them semi in order, and it's going to achieve a similar purpose. And I'm also launching a program, and I will be talking to y'all about this. Opt in and I'll share more information. A program called Category of One. And in Category of One, I'm going to be launching it as a beta program, and early founders are going to be able to join. We're going to not just talk about story selling, like content that sells your offer through story, but we're also going to talk about like, how do you shift I'm going to help you shift your content so that it serves like as a funnel, rather than you just posting content and then wondering if anybody sees it. We're going to turn it into a funnel. So everything that we're talking about today, we're going to do that in Category of One. So like I said, opt in to the 6-figure story selling, and I'm going to share more information about the program there as well. So number one, change is you need to start creating more top of funnel content. So top of funnel essentially is content for strangers. It's for people who don't know you, who might be ideal clients, but they don't know you. So you can't assume that the way that you have in the past. So essentially what this might look like is creating content that answers questions that they're actively asking themselves in the moment. Content that introduces like just different concepts. So this means like you're not going super deep. You are basically talking to people who either are experiencing certain symptoms, but they don't know, they're not actively shopping for a solution. So this might just be like high level educational content. This might be content that helps them figure out like what their problem is. This could be just anything that aligns with their interests, aligns for things that they're looking for. So a good example of this for me is that when I was selling, let's say for me, like bottom of the funnel content for me might be like thought leadership. But the average person isn't shopping for thought leadership, right? They're just like, what do I post? What do I post to make sales? So you notice how like the difference between that? I'm still a business coach at the end of the day. Do I know thought leadership? Can I help you with PR? Can I help you with, navigating inner child triggers and as they show up in business? Yes. But what are people searching for? What do I post this week? How do I post without being salesy? How do I incorporate more of me in my marketing so it sounds like me? Those are all the things they're looking for. And so top of funnel content means I'm incorporating that. Does that mean that's all I post? No. But we do need that because we need to simplify our concepts a little more. We need to assume people know absolutely nothing, but they are your perfect person. So the best way to do this is imagine your perfect client, your most ideal client finds you, but they know nothing about your concepts. They don't know anything. They are clueless, but you could help them. What are some things that they might think that is happening for them? Like, what are some questions that they might be sitting in? What might they be searching for? What can help them? What can help them feel seen? Start there, because most of the time we're going way too deep on stuff and people they're just not there yet. So we need more top of funnel content, like I said. And so for me as a business coach, that is me expanding into content, what to post, hooks, how to sell, or how to create content that sounds like you, but still grows your audience, like all those things, while knowing there is so much depth to my work. Is it going to all be in every single post? No, it really shouldn't be. I'm going to put more of that in my email. I put that in this podcast, but my Instagram is not supposed to do all of that. We're not supposed to go super deep on every single post, right? So that's top of funnel content, is content for strangers that could potentially be your ideal clients, but they're just not even problem aware at this point. So that's top of funnel content. So think about what questions might they be asking themselves? What issues might they be sitting in today, right now, and create content for that. So that's number one, is create more top of funnel content. I'd say aim for half of your content being top of funnel content. Number two, change is more storytelling. This also achieves the goal of more top of funnel content because storytelling content always does so well. I have gone viral multiple times through storytelling content. I've had over 1 million views. I've had over 100,000 views. I've gone viral in trial reels, all of that. So storytelling always converts better no matter the algorithm. And everybody should have a pinned post on their IG, on their LinkedIn, on their TikTok with their story on it. If you need help with this, go into my show notes and click on 6-figure storytelling hooks. You will get the access to the custom GPT that's going to help you. So that's just so important because your story is going to help make sense of the rest of your content to anybody that visits your page. And it's also going to build that emotional connection with you, meaning when they come to your profile, they're looking for something deeper than like, they're kind of looking for like, okay, what's in it for me? Because that's the only reason anybody follows you. It's like, what's in it for me? And one of the things that helps is like having people go to that post and like it. My viral post that I have pinned on my account still brings me new followers, and people are still engaging with it because every time somebody goes to my profile, they're figuring out, do they want to follow me? Yes or no? And that story always helps to build that connection. So this is why more storytelling and have your story as a pinned post on your profile. That's number 2. Number 3 is you need to learn and develop the skill of writing better hooks. And some people might roll their eyes about this because they're just like, oh, I don't want to think about that. But the way that I want you to think about hooks is like a storefront, like one of those shop windows that you could have the best product, but like it's the shop window that makes people pause and decide to go inside. It's similar to an email subject line. You can have the best email, but people will decide to open it based on the email subject line, right? So I want you to look at this as like, instead of you're not watering yourself down or making yourself a gimmick or, clickbait or any of that. It's really just knowing that you are at any given point as a business owner competing for attention. Even from people who are already following you, right? Because like we just consume a lot of information. So we don't ever really want to assume interest or curiosity. So good hooks are specific, right? And they create curiosity versus assume curiosity. Bringing specificity, bringing intrigue, bringing interest, opening a curiosity loop, all of those things make good hooks. Naming a specific person, naming a specific number, all those things I will talk about in 6-figure story selling hooks, but just writing better hooks in general. One thing that I have been doing to test this out is tons of trial reels. So I will go and do a hook and then I'll post like 3 different variations of it and I'll see kind of which one does better. And the one that does better, I will copy it. I won't publish it from trial reels to public, but I will just copy it and put it over to my feed. But it's just been a really interesting experiment. I've just been treating all my content like experiments, but writing better hooks means the difference between like 200 people and 1,000 people, right? Sometimes it means a way bigger difference than that. Like the hooks really, really matter. So writing better hooks, and there's plenty of people that you can follow on Instagram that will talk to you about hooks. And what happens is your brain will start to think in hooks. So I want you to start doing that and start thinking about like how, if I were just scrolling past, like, would this intrigue me to stop? Does this open a question that my brain really wants to answer that makes me keep watching, keep reading? Number 4 is using trial reels. Use trial reels. I'm telling you. So trial reels is where you get to post something. Your followers do not see it. So it is so freeing because if you're like an overthinker like me and like many of us, it's like, who cares? It doesn't matter. None of your followers are going to see this anyway. You may as well go and just post it on trial reels, see how it does. You get to post something multiple times. If you use edits the way that I do, I'll create one version of a reel with a hook and then I'll duplicate it and then I'll change the hook to a slightly different word. Sometimes I'll try a different song. I don't change too many things though. I'll change like one thing. That way it's easy. And the thing that's beautiful about this is because it only goes to people who don't follow you, it basically is like free visibility. It means like if you put it on trial reels, every single view that you get there is something you wouldn't have gotten otherwise. Like you may as well go. And if you post something 3 times, like that's just all visibility and people will follow you based on that. I've had people opt into my email list from my trial reels. So it's like, it's great. Like I look at it and I'm like, it's freaking free lead gen. Like why not use it? And you get to experiment in a place that feels safe because if you have this concept of like, people are judging you, it's just like, it doesn't matter. Trial reels, nobody knows you. They're not following you. So I have definitely been having a lot of fun on trial reels. I've gone viral there. I've learned a lot about like what works and what works for me. And so you absolutely should be posting there. One thing that you can do to get started is there's an app that I use or a website called snapinsta.io. You paste the link to a reel of yours. So like if you go to a reel that you've posted and you hit the little like arrow and then you copy the link and you go to snapinsta.io and you paste it. It allows you to download reels that you've posted in the past. So I've literally sat down, gone back to my best performing reels and posted them on trial reels. Now, I don't do that anymore because everything that I post, I do it in both places, but that's a good place to start just to get new eyes on your account. So that's number 4 is use trial reels. And we also, the other thing about this is, as we know, Instagram tends to reward early adopters. And so I can guarantee like it's probably not going to be as beneficial in the future to use trial reels. It's just that they want people to use it now. And so right now it's like, I, for example, have a post with 110,000 views that's on my public feed, but I also have it in trial reels multiple times with 25,000, 50,000, like brand new followers, brand new opt-ins, all of that just from trial reels. So I'm just like, use it right now while it's being highly rewarded. So that's number 4, trial reels. Number 5, change. This one, I wouldn't worry about it too much, like if it makes your head spin a little bit, but I want to share this with you because you'll start to think about your content differently. So one thing that I have started doing is, because Instagram scans your content for keywords in order to know who would be interested in this, I've started to be more intentional about what keywords I'm using on my content, like actually on the carousel or on the reel, as well as keywords in the caption. So it's kind of like, I think like, okay, if you didn't know me, am I naming my audience specifically? So for example, the other day I did a viral reel, but I said something like, when you are a business owner and someone asks to film your content or something like that, like asks to film B-roll of you. So it's like things like small business owner. And then I used in the caption, like if you're an entrepreneur, if you're a coach, creator, service provider, or creative entrepreneur, like I'm starting to use those just in my captions, because naming your audience or naming their problems or naming their desires, naming those demographics helps Instagram know like, oh, this content is about this and this content is for this type of person. So start to just think, am I using, can I possibly name my people, name those things in my caption or in my hook, because it does help to kind of be instructions to Instagram to know who to show it to. So that helps again, because like I said, because it's interest-based, it is scanning your content to know who to show that to. The other change, so that's number 5. Number 6, which you've seen me do recently, and there's been a lot of learnings here because I've had some stuff flop and I learned from it and I understand why. And I changed my strategy and I'm really seeing the results now, especially with the interest in 6-figure story selling hooks, is to, if you're on Instagram, you need to have a top of funnel freebie. Okay. No longer is it enough to just say, join my email list. The reason why is because join my email list is a middle of the funnel strategy. Join my email list assumes they care about you. They don't, when they don't know you, they don't know you. They don't want to know. They don't want to be on your email list, right? Like they don't, literally, like it makes sense. If somebody just found your post and you were like, join my email list, they'd be like, no, I don't know who you are. What does make them join is a high value, but simple freebie that helps them with some kind of a present problem that they're sitting in right now, right? And so back in the days, you could do that. But in order for somebody to just join your email list, you had to assume they were following you, they know you, they care about you specifically, what you have to say. And you also have to assume at that point that they're seeing your content multiple times. How would you get somebody to follow you who just saw your post? A freebie. And that happens with my content all the time now. I'll put stuff out there and people will they'll follow me and then they'll comment the keyword and they'll get on my list. That would have not happened if I said join my email list, because they're just like, who's this chick? I don't know if I want to follow you about what, like get on your email list about what. So we really do want to do that, because also the lead magnet or the freebie is something where you get to build a relationship with that person. You get to help them with something. And then in the emails that follow, you get to help them implement that work. You get to introduce yourself, you get to introduce your concepts, you get to over deliver, you know what I mean? Like with my freebie, I released a second freebie that's in my funnel because I really want to over deliver to my people. I want them to feel like they are being coached by me, even if they never work with me. That's great. Like I want it to be so high value that I am helping as many people as possible, right? So you need to have a top of funnel freebie, meaning answering a present question that they are sitting in now, a present need that they are sitting in now, not something super complicated, not anything that's going to take ages for them to implement, just something. So for me, the hooks are a top of funnel thing because you could literally go in there and get content ideas for the next 30 days. Like you could just go in there, pick a prompt and run with it, right? So that's a top of funnel freebie. You need that in order to turn followers into leads. So that's number 6. Number 7 is DM automations. So if you don't have ManyChat, I would suggest setting it up, especially if you're going to set up a freebie, because people are not going to go to your link in bio, especially if they don't follow you. People are not going to see your reels on a, explore page or a suggested post and then go to your link in bio, click on it, and then go and opt in. It's very unlikely. So, and even your current followers, you want to make it easy. So you want to have these DM automations in order to grow your list, in order to drive engagement on your posts, which helps to boost your views and to just start conversations. Like I have, even though people have gone in and like commented on my post to opt into 6-figure story selling hooks, I still in certain cases will go back and be like, I'm excited for you to dive in. Like, let me know if you have any questions. And it's just like, it just makes it like community based again, right? Like that's where community is happening for me is in my DMs, and ManyChat has really helped with that. So setting up DM automations to send people, for example, when I have a podcast episode, they can comment CBMM for cycle breakers and moneymakers and get the link. They can comment different keywords for different things. And I love it because it makes it easy for them, but it also shows me like every time I get a wave of visibility or a wave of followers, I start to get people commenting on old posts with old lead magnets. And it's showing me every time, this is the point of like you put out content that grows your audience and it then trickles down. People are creeping on your posts. They're going back at stuff you posted 2 months ago. They're commenting on the keywords. So like the DM automations really help me see that my Instagram is working like a funnel, and that's how it should be. And it really is, it's helping me see it in a different way, in a more creative way. So DM automation, setting up ManyChat, having it be something that you make it one step easier so that they don't have to go to the link in your bio. Number 8, the overly designed carousels are out now. People just want to see the words. They want to make it easy to swipe through. So simple B-roll carousels do really well. I've done carousels where it's a photo, like B-roll, and others where I alternate between a photo and like a little video, and you're just putting text on top of it. It keeps people engaged. It makes your carousel feel really personal. It makes it so that you can just do it on your phone. And it's just really easy. And then you get to put a song over it. It's a vibe, you know what I mean? So simple B-roll carousels over overly branded, overly designed carousels. Simplicity is easy. Like make sure that it's legible, clear text, and just use the photos. Like at this point, you just make it a point to take photos of yourself, to take little clips of yourself, because these simple B-roll carousels get a ton of engagement, and we no longer need to have, like I said, like Canva is great. Still, you can use Canva. I know a lot of people who do, but focus on simplicity and legibility above anything else. Just make it easy for people to swipe through. And finally, for me, I have done this, but this depends on your level of comfort. I've been doing more talk to cam videos, and I'm finding that like it really is a little bit out of my comfort zone, but it really does build trust faster. And so that could be something that, especially if you have done really well in selling on stories, what I found is that if you're someone who your clients tend to quote things you've said on stories, watch you on stories, you know that you're a good storyteller, you're really engaging, like people really like to hear you talk, you're kind of like a, oh, let me just show up and talk type of person. Transition to doing more talk to cam videos is going to really help, because you're basically taking something that is already working for you and you're doing it publicly, and you're doing it on your feed where it's not going to expire after 24 hours. For this that has really been helping me to do this is I filmed it as a story, but I gave myself the limit of 2 stories. So you know how like a story is 60 seconds and then it's another 60 seconds. So what I said was, I'm going to film this as a story. I'm going to take out the pressure for this to be a reel. I'm just going to post it as a story, but I'm going to give myself a limit of starting my point and finishing my point within 2 minutes, right? Then when I've done that, I went back and I took those 2 clips. I saved them before adding the caption so I could make it cleaner. I save those 2 clips. I cut out the pauses in edits so that it's snappy. And then it tends to cut it from 2 minutes to about 90 seconds. And there's your reel. And then you add a little hook to the top. So if that helps you, take something you're already doing and already comfortable with and tell yourself, it could just be in stories. If you hate it, you could just leave it in stories. You don't have to do anything with it. But I challenge you, do it as a story, save it, then put it into edits, cut out the dead space, and then put it as a face-to-cam video. I film them more because when people come to my account, I want them to be able to feel like I'm coaching them. I'm talking to them. They feel my energy, right? And that's the point of it. It's definitely much more of like a trust accelerator when people find my account. So I'm going to repeat the 9. So number 1, changes that you need to be making to your Instagram, how you should be marketing differently on Instagram going into 2026 is number 1, half of your content should be top of funnel content, answering questions and speaking to challenges that they are sitting in right now, that they are aware of. Use the words that they are thinking, right? Top of funnel content. How can you use that to help people feel seen and to help them with things they're sitting in right now? Number 2, more storytelling. Number 3, write better hooks that are more specific and create curiosity versus assume curiosity. Open up a curiosity loop that they want to close by continuing to watch or continuing to read. Number 4, get on trial reels. Free visibility, and also it allows you to test your content and test hooks. Number 5, try to use more keywords in your content and in your captions. The keywords that name your ideal client, like name the problems, like think about if those things are instructions to Instagram to show it to this person and a person who's interested in this, like start to think about how you can weave that in. So that's number 5, keywords. Number 6, freebie. You need to have a strategic top of funnel freebie that, again, answers a question or a need that they're sitting in right now in order to turn followers into email subscribers and then email subscribers into leads. Number 7, DM automations are so important as far as just taking some of the legwork off of them to have to go to link in bio, especially when people are finding your content and they don't yet follow you. They're much less likely to go to your link in bio. So using ManyChat to grow your email list and make it easier for them to get their hands on resources that you have and just starting DM conversations. That's number 7. Number 8 is let your carousels be fun, simple B-roll carousels. So simple B-roll carousels over super designed, branded carousels with your photo on every single one. You can just make it simple, make it fun. Use photos of you literally it's fine if you're standing in front of a mirror. It's fine if it's a selfie. All of it works for carousels. So you don't even need vibey photo shoot photos. You literally can just take little video clips or photos that you have and make carousels from those and keep it simple. And number 9, start to experiment with more talk to cam videos. If you're comfortable in stories, film it as a story, cut out all of the dead space, take a 2-minute video and make it 90 seconds, or take a 60-second video and make it shorter. It helps with getting over the hump of feeling like, oh my gosh, this is going to be on my feed forever. Take a behavior that you're already comfortable with and put it on your feed. What all of this is going to do is it's going to, number 1, help you get out of maybe overthinking your content, knowing that some of it is supposed to just be fun and show your personality and be for connection. But it's also going to start to shift your IG to be more of a funnel versus something that you have to be posting all the time. Because the thing about when your IG is a funnel, it means that even if you haven't posted, right now I'm experiencing this because it's the holidays, but every time I go into my IG, there's still people following me from reels that I created for virality. So I still have people that are following me. I still have people commenting keywords. And so what this means is you don't actually have to be on because your content is doing the job for you of helping you be discovered in front of new people and growing your email list. And then what happens is when you show up to sell, let's say you're more hard selling, right? You can go and do that on stories. You can do that on your email list, and you don't have to put the pressure on your posts because your posts are more for lead gen and relationship building, whereas stories and your email are more for sales. And that's a lot more sustainable. And that means that you don't have to rely on actively posting to sell your offer and all the things because your content is working harder for you. And it also helps you just to shake it up and like allow you to bring more of you into your content. And it's actually more strategic to do that, right? I was joking the other day that I was like, oh, now it's strategic for me to be like sarcastic and funny in my content. And it's okay to do that because when people come on your page, let's say like, if you notice now, if you look at your analytics for any post and you realize like, okay, half of the people who saw this post don't follow me. When they decide to follow you, if they go to your page and all they see is you selling, they're much less likely to follow you because they're going to your page and they're deciding from there, what's in it for me? Is this a person that I'm going to enjoy following? And so they want to see personality. They want to see story. Yes, they also want to see education and things that you're helping them with, right? But doing hard selling like just turns people off. And that's why like IG wasn't really meant to do that. And it only worked for a time because of the way that the algorithm worked. Like people got to build a relationship with us long term. And all you had to do was post on IG. That's how I did. My first $500,000, I made it without even really an email list. Like I never really sent emails. I just posted on Instagram. So I'm changing because I'm seeing that the platform is changing, but I'm also seeing that it's more sustainable for me to not have to rely on posting, doing every single job in my business. Visit the show notes to grab 6-figure story selling guide. And in that funnel, you'll also get the Sellable Stories Coach Custom GPT to help you string it all together. That's going to help you to start applying all of this effortlessly and in a really fun way. I hope this was helpful, and I will see you guys on the next episode.